Like I'm sure many of you have, I too have been obsessed with Obi-Wan Kenobi. I know we did a very small MOC a couple of weeks ago of that iconic episode 3 Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader fight, and although I have plans to do an episode 6 fight more around the times when those sets officially come out in August, there was one other scene I thought would work really well as one of these nice small dioramas. And that's when Anakin goes around and kills a bunch of kids. Specifically this scene. This scene was one of the darkest in the show, and I'd love to create the 501st Legion walking along the corridor with Anakin as a nice desk piece to show off some of my 501st Legion. I'm not really an army builder, but I did get 2 501st battle packs that have just been chilling in a box, so I'd love to get them out. So without further ado, I think we should get into some planning. But before that, I want to shout out this video's sponsor and my favorite distraction at the moment, Raid Shadow Legends. Now the reason it's one of my favorite distractions right now is because the game is actually unironically really good. And considering it's currently celebrating its 3rd year anniversary, I thought I'd give you my 3 favorite reasons why I like playing this game. Number 1, lore. One great thing about Raid Shadow Legends is the story is actually really interesting, full of different avenues and different levels of lore that you can sink your teeth into. Number 2, the design. I love all the designs in this game. It looks like a AAA title. Graphics wise, you can play it on your phone or PC, and the character designs in this game all are unique and look amazing. Like my boy Hungerer, who's looking like a big boy. And number 3, new content. Raid Shadow Legends always has new content coming, and now is absolutely no exception. There are 5 new badass looking champions that are coming out, as well as Trunda getting a bunch of new skins, and there's a bunch of Summer Slash events on the way as well. But wait, Raid is currently running a special Deliana Chase event for all new and existing players. All you gotta do is play Raid Shadow Legends for 7 days between now and July 28th, and you'll get Deliana, one of the strongest support legends, completely for free. And all new players that sign up via this video use code MyDeliana to get 50 XP brews to max out your legendary hero Deliana to level 50, as well as a ton of silver. There's never been a better time to get started. Use my link or scan the QR code on screen, and you'll get a free starter pack worth about $30. You'll also get a free champion, Aina, who I also hear is pretty damn good. You'll find the reward in your inbox for the next 30 days, redeem them by clicking here, and whilst you're at it, you can also find me in-game under Tommy C. Bricks. Remember, all those rewards are only for new players, so if you haven't started playing Raid yet, press the link. Thanks Raid for once again sponsoring this video. Let's get planning some Star Wars stuff. When planning out this model, I knew I wanted it to be small, and considering I've already made 2 Star Wars MOCs that are relatively small, I think I'm going to keep the same amount of studs width and lengthwise, even though I do plan on putting a few more figures on this. I don't know if I'm going to include Reaver in this MOC, considering I wanted this to be more of a Order 66 type deal. Also, I think 4 figures on this could potentially be too many figures for this base to handle. I still want to see a little bit of the Jedi Temple in here, and I think one of the most important aspects of this set is going to be getting a lot of good detail on the floor. As for minifigures, we're obviously going to use the troopers from the 501st Battle Pack, and it just makes me wish that we got arm printing on things like these clone troopers, because I would love the blue pauldrons on these minifigures. I know Firestar Toys have an arm pack for these guys, but at the same time, I don't want to have every single figure use Firestar Toys arms. I also don't think we're going to use the jetpack trooper, considering we never see any of those in Kenobi, and I don't know if anybody else realized this, but do you not think that the 501st Legion look a bit different in Kenobi compared to Episode 3? I understand that these are probably physical suits now, because in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, they didn't make, if any, physical suits for these guys to wear. I know in especially Attack of the Clones, they didn't make a single helmet for the filming of Attack of the Clones, but these 501st troopers seem to have a lot more teal in their color scheme rather than the blue that we're used to on these 501st troopers. Even toys have had this right for a long time, so I'm a bit confused why they look a bit more teal in the scene. I don't know, maybe it's just a color correction issue, but hey, not something we can really do anything about on our figures. As for Anakin though, I'm using just the standard Anakin from the Duel on Mustafar. I know it would probably be better to not use the one with all the burns in his chest, but unfortunately I don't have another Anakin that's at the same level of quality of this Anakin. I've only got some of the older Anakin suits. So I'm just going to use this guy, and I'm going to pair it up with a hood piece and a cape. This cape is one of the more rigid capes, it came from Darth Vader, and I've just used a standard black hood, as in this case I believe it to look better than the one with the open front. This really does make Anakin look as evil as he did in the scene, especially when you flip his alternative face round to show those Sith eyes. Again, nothing I can really do about the whole screaming thing, but I think this face print does the job absolutely fine. As for his lightsaber, I've given him the standard blue one, but once again, like my other MOC, I'm using the Light My Bricks version of this lightsaber so I can have it light up with menacing effect. I know lightsabers don't really have a flicker most of the time, but I'm going to give his lightsaber a flicker using a flicker effects board just to show a bit more dramatic effect. Now, when building this model, one thing I really wanted to emphasize was the floor. The Jedi Temple has a very interesting floor pattern, and even though I don't think I got it exactly right, I think this is good enough for at least this small model. The Jedi Temple also has pillars throughout, which I've decided to depict as broken ruins here, almost like the 501st Troopers have shot all these pillars down, or Jedi have swung their lightsabers through these pillars to just knock them over. This helps sell the chaoticness of Order 66. There's also an archway that they come through, and I've depicted these as two pillars either side of the model, and I've added those little white lights that you see on the doors on either side to try and help sell the fact that this might be a door. You can see I've also oriented this model slightly differently than the other two, having it go long ways rather than horizontal like the two previous models I did. The reason I did this is because I want to arrange the troopers and Anakin in a almost triangle formation, having Anakin in the front and two clone troopers either side of him with maybe one coming in from behind. I think orienting the model this way also might help the model not look as cluttered. But without further ado, I think we should build this and check out what it looks like. Now this is the final MOC. I'm really happy with this. Although these models turn out to be a little bit basic, I really do see them as more minimalistic rather than anything else. And the beauty of this thing is, once again, it is tiny, so it doesn't cost very much to replicate. I really like the style of the dioramas that LEGO have been producing, and I really want them to do more small ones. I think it's a fantastic opportunity to give us more figures, and even though the scenes like this one can be very basic, just consisting of basically some pillars and tiles, it still captures the scene. And I understand a lot of people would want full-on playsets of things like the Jedi Temple, but a diorama would be pretty damn sick as well. And that's not to mention that other locations like things like Geonosis would also be a great thing to just put in a diorama. I understand that there's a place for display sets and a place for playsets, but I think these dioramas are almost a new breed, definitely tailoring more towards the display side of things, but also if they make them small enough, could be a fantastic opportunity to get some really decent looking sets with fairly low figure counts, but potentially could be a really good way of getting some really rare figures again. Characters like Qui-Gon or Chancellor Palpatine, or even really rare ones like Queen Amidala. I honestly think the possibilities for Star Wars dioramas are endless, and I definitely plan to make a few more in the future, so make sure you subscribe for that. For now, I'll put on screen 2 of my other dioramas, which if you guys haven't checked out should totally do so, and I'll make sure I see you over there.